So basically, when you start the game Earth, you're dropped straight into the tutorial phase, and the developers call this childhood. And you learn the basics, how to interact, survive, and get by. But the thing is, this tutorial barely scratches the surface of what you'll need to know to play Earth really well and level up your
How has
character.
your Earth game been
most
going,
games,
everybody?
when you choose a character, you get to break
How's your
down all their
character
strengths
faring?
and weaknesses so you can plan accordingly. But in Earth, that is not how it works. The deep traits, the strengths, and the
Started playing
flaws
the
of your
Borderlands.
character are kept hidden from
Skin
you on
Donator, are
purpose.
you also
don't
from
get any
Bulgaria?
guide telling you
I know you
what
said
you're
you speak
naturally
London.
good at or where you might struggle.
Maybe you speak
and
both.
the developers designed it this way. You have to dig, you have to work, you've got to explore,
And yeah,
and
codename, do you plan
understand
to
who
play
your
Enzo?
character really is.
Do you know
And
that the
most
demo is free
players
right
who
now?
play Earth spend their entire lives without ever fully knowing their character's true potential. And they get stuck playing Earth on the surface level, and they miss out on the depth that could change the way they experience the entire game. One of the goals that you get in the game is bringing new players.
That's a
into the
good
game.
question.
My character recently committed to another character named Michelle, and we used the game mechanics and the in-game coins to bring another user into the game.
Look
And
at
we
that
named
cute
her
user.
Hannah, and she's just now starting the tutorial phase.
I
And
rarely
this is a
compliment
hard
babies,
mission,
but
so
this
I
one
would
has
wait
such a
until you
cute
think your
smile.
character's ready.
What in the
'cause
world
the
is this
game
Daya?
mechanics make you literally walk the character all the way through.
It's
the
a part of
entire
the tutorial.
phase if you decide to make
But
a new character.
on
Even though
Earth-
they start going to a different map location where other characters are going to help them for
Did
like
you
8
not
hours
get
a
the
day. This is
tutorial,
called
Pat?
school. So not all players get the same tutorial. Some get a pretty easy start, and some have
Nah,
to face
me,
some serious
we
crap
in
right
Bulgaria
from the
we start on
beginning of the game. But
hardcore.
no matter what kind of intro
Slavs do
that you
hardcore.
get, Earth hides a lot of
Earth
key
game.
details from every character. And you might think you've got your strengths and weaknesses nailed down, but the truth is there's always more to uncover. There's abilities and traits that come to light through missions.
I really love
and
how he's not
unlocking
blinking.
new levels of Earth. So the true goal is to know your character really deeply. So the biggest mistake that players on Earth make is assuming that they know their character just because they've been playing it for a while. But if you really want to thrive, you've got to go deeper.
Оле си вода
Most
от
people never reach this
градински
level of
мъркучката
insight.
малка.
They're too caught up in reacting to the game's weird randomness instead of taking the time to learn who
Не,
their
но съм
character
пила
is.
от
The game
разни
developers
чешми, които
didn't
идват
give
от
you the
земята,
answers
от
up
къде ли
front,
си,
and
не
they won't
знам.
make it easy for you to find. But once
И
you
вече
do,
не
Earth
съществуват.
upgrades from just a survival game into this badass quest of
Но сме
self-mastery
играли на такива
with
пръскалки
brand
през
new
лятото и
level
съм се
unlocks
прибирала
and a lot
цялата
more
чиста
coins
вир
after
вода.
the upgrade. And then we have glitches.
Приятелките.
Here's one of the biggest
In
things
our
that
game
nobody
here,
tells
like
you when
3
you
levels
start
of
playing
medium
Earth.
mode.
Your character
Hard
is probably
and
running
Slav
way
mode.
too many programs
Yes.
at one time. If you imagine having 50 tabs open on your
Codsworth,
browser
hi,
all the
hello,
time.
how are
So
you
the game
doing?
developers turned off the open
Welcome,
programs
welcome.
alert by default. So most players don't
Имунизирана,
even realize
да.
that it's happening.
Натурално.
And these programs keep running in the background. They cause your character to
Basically.
lag, and they reduce our critical abilities,
Thank
our
God.
focus, and our overall performance just goes way down. In Earth,
Codsworth?
these background programs could be anything from unresolved tasks, emotional baggage that
Unresolved
your
trauma.
character tries to hold on to, distractions or habits that just don't level up your character at all. And then we get into entropy.
Fears that have been injected into you, like a virus program, toxic shame, all of that jazz, feeling of inadequacy.
This is the silent killer.
Ooh,
If you
entropy.
don't keep revisiting your systems, how you're earning in-game points and coins, and
You have
what
to
you're
keep your
focusing
systems
on and
clean,
how you're
chat.
playing, you're going to start trending toward entropy, and this is true for all video games. And entropy is the slow drift into chaos and disorder that stops your character from focusing on what really
Но
matters.
да,
So
Антро
to
и
beat
Codename,
entropy, you've got to
вие
study
как сте
Earth,
с
you have to
натуралния
study the
имунитет?
mechanics of this game,
Щом го каза
its
за
rules,
водата,
its hidden
от
systems,
мъркуча,
and the more you
предполагам, че
understand
не
how the
сте
game
се
really
ваксвали
works,
за
the
COVID.
better you can control your character's progress. But let's be very real here. Most players will not put in the time, which makes leveling up fairly easy compared to most games. And the good
Yeah.
news for you is
Most
you
players
don't
just
have
want
to do
coins.
it alone. You can hire someone to hack your account for you.
I
Like
watched a
a
video
coach.
of reaction
Coaches
of
have
this video
studied
and
the
there was
game,
this
they
thing.
know the shortcuts
If life
and the
is a
hacks
video
to
game,
get you back on track
it's abortion
faster,
spawn
and if you try to
camping.
just figure out the whole game by yourself. And another way to reset your character and close some of those open programs is by using
Я ли
certain
плясък găsit
glitches
cu
in the
ănăret,
game,
yes.
one of the most effective glitches might be psychedelics. And if your character is in a location where
I'm not sure I'd call
psychedelics are
this a
legal, you can
glitch.
find them in the in-game
Maybe it's a
shop
mod.
and trade some coins for them. The more programs you close in the in-game
I just
shop
bought
and
myself this
trade
type
some
of a mushroom yesterday. It's literally in my fridge, waiting to be buttered on the pan.
coins for them. The more programs you close and the better you manage entropy, the more you can level
I
up,
thought I can
earn
get
more
worse,
coins,
but
and do stuff
some guy in a
that
wheelchair
is
just
fun.
spawning in us. Does this
In
mean that
Earth,
I'm
there
lagging?
are 5 key mechanics
Oh
that
my
no amount of AI or
Ex-
any kind of automation can really
extra
take over.
hard
And
mode.
these are the pillars of real success on
That's like
Earth.
NG
And every
plus
character has to
15.
master them. So number 1 is connections and love. Building relationships with other characters is one of the most powerful mechanics in the game, and they're going to really pay off for you in the long run. The
Yeah,
second
right.
one is production.
Especially
So
when they turn out
meaningful
they're a
work
narcissist.
is a core mechanic in the Earth game. And this isn't just about grinding for coins, it's about developing purpose. So what you produce,
It's
whether
Lecico,
it's
hello,
physical or
dobr
intellectual
večer.
or creative, gives your character a reason to
Какъв
keep
дис.
playing the game. It's super important. Then we
Разбираш
have
ли
number 3,
английски?
which is mindset. How your character thinks is everything.
If you come
in this
from
game. Your
Anthrostream,
internal
then I
game
suppose
is
you
just
know
as
English.
important as the external, and there's
Chico.
no AI that can replace your ability to grow and adapt mentally. So choose good missions and good quests to take your character.
Definitely
And
choose
number
the good
4
side
is your
quests.
overall character health. Monitoring your character's health is super important for taking the game's quests on and challenges. And this isn't just about physical health,
Da,
it's about
разбирам
keeping your
английски
character in
algorithm.
the best shape
Because this is my
mentally
English
and
channel. Here
emotionally,
we talk in
physically.
English.
They have a lot of crap that you have to monitor, but it's totally worth it. And a healthy character performs way better, making it easier to get success and earn coins in the game. But it does get tricky. The game is filled with instant pleasures that look like you're leveling up, but it gives you a placebo. And these are things that give your character.
If your life is a video game, how would you name it? Oh my god, you don't want to know. Probably it will be named Live After Death, After Death, After Death, After Death. I'll give it like a 7 goes or something. Yeah, that's a really good question. Can I ask it back to you, everybody in chat? What would you name your game? Life of video game, nice. I like this. Yes, there's a lot of theories that we live in like in a hologram simulation. Bad decisions. See, this is great. It means you're alive and you're making choices and you're not afraid of mistakes and bad decisions. And basically, bad decisions and mistakes are bad words for good things because that's how you evolve your levels and you improve and you learn. Life game name would be Perplexity. I would play that as an external player, just like watching you play. I wouldn't take your character. Hell no, my motto is какво такова? Еми хубаво, добре. Okay, let's go.
There's no long-term benefit. Enjoyment, on the other hand, comes from achieving
What
meaningful
takoda?
goals and staying aligned with
Same
your
here.
purpose. So the final goal of the developers is to get you to understand the game. Like,
And play
what
a
is the
game
purpose
inside
of
the game, inside the
And
game,
this
inside
is
the game.
the meta mechanic of the game. So studying the game itself. The more you understand the rules, the mechanics, and how they interact, the better you're going to play this game. And you can't outsource this to AI.
Well, I need to
And
pick
it's
my
the
life
difference
video
between
game
just
name, probably.
surviving in Earth
Need for
and truly thriving.
I
and
feel you in
leveling
the
up your
last
character
20
like
years.
crazy.
Oh.
In Earth, the real secret to
Design your
enjoying
own
the
quests.
gameplay is designing your own quests.
I would call
And
them challenges.
Of course, the developers have pre-built missions and quests that you can go on, and they're almost
Chance,
limitless.
how's the trip going?
Challenges that keep
Tell
you
us.
busy, but if you want to play like a pro, you need to take full control. The players that are famous for getting the most points in this game don't
Either take full control or completely let go of control and be like, what the call, man? Whatever may come, may come.
actually wait for the game to give them tasks. They make their own and they shape how their character's
See,
story
hi.
unfolds themselves. So Stephen Kotler, who's one of the characters in the game map right now, he wrote a tutorial called The Art of Impossible. He lays out a framework that's perfect for creating your own quests here on Earth. You can think of these like custom missions that you get to choose rather than letting the game pick for you.
Gonna
So
try and
number
fix
one is
this
curiosity. In Earth, it drives your character toward
Shout out to
exploration
bro,
and
okay?
new levels. And the more you follow curiosity, the more unique and exciting
I
your
am
quests
great in
are
how
going
is
to
the
get. If you
preparation
ignore
for
it,
the
you're going to get
moving
stuck
going.
in a lot of predictable crap. The second is passion. This is your
Burn my
quest
tongue on the
compass,
first night.
guiding toward missions that matter. And when you connect what excites you with what you're good at,
Were you
your
very
custom
hungry?
quests get really easy to put together. And the third is purpose. So think of this like your ultimate quest line in the game. This is
Did
the
you eat
legacy
something
that your
extremely
character can
hot?
leave
Oh, they
behind.
are working.
Purpose-driven quests aren't just about completing tasks.
Just
They're about creating
increasingly.
something meaningful in the game, something that allows other characters to level up themselves
That's
in
the
a
best quest
same or
ever.
similar way. It's one of the ways that you can
I've
get
been
the
wanting
other
to do
players
this
to put
quest
your
for a long
character's name
time.
on crap all around the map, and they will talk about
Wait
you
for the
after
time
you
to
exit
move.
the game.
Ooh,
Then we
nice.
have autonomy. Autonomy gives you control over your character's direction instead of accepting default quests handed to you. And then we have mastery. The more practice and refinement that you do to your skills, the more powerful your character gets. And this gives you tools to take on even more challenging quests. And
It's really nice trying a new skill and figuring out, oh, I don't start at 0 level. I start at level 7. I did this currently a couple of years ago when I broke my they call it marriage finger, the ring finger, and I went on a sculpting class, and I figured, man, I'm really good at this, and this is my first time doing it. It's so much fun when you discover like some secret talent like that. I've been wanting to sculpt more ever since, but actually never got to do it. I've only sculpted in my life with a broken ring finger. That's weird, isn't it?
it gives you more
Very hungry and the
coins
food was
to
way
use
too hot.
in the
Yeah, that's
shops. And as a pro tip, build your quests that avoid your character's anti-vision. The dystopian future
Is it
that
as
you
bad as the
absolutely
skin is
don't
gonna
want
peel
in the game.
at some
Almost
point?
every player ignores this,
Or
and they
it
never
wasn't
spend
maybe
time
that
to lay
hot?
out the things that they do not want to occur.
Mission goals.
Once your quests get mapped out, it's time to build your mission goals.
Avoid
And you
NPCs
think
at
of
all
them as
costs.
checkpoints
He
along
didn't
your
say
journey.
anything
These
about
goals
this.
become the specific tasks that your
Only
character
play with
is
other
gonna
players.
tackle and level up, and they'll keep you focused on what matters and keep out of distraction mode. But then when it comes to distraction mode, there's something called the NPC trap. The developers added a trick to convert real players
Here we
into
go.
NPCs, which is non-playable characters. If you're not familiar with NPCs, they're
course
basically
he
the
thought of
characters
that.
in video games that don't have any real control over their actions. They just kind of repeat.
I literally had a thought about this today because I'm naturally very interested in psychology and all that jazz, and a lot of the cluster B personality disorders, like people who lack empathy and all that, who are constantly looking for validation from the outside world, got me thinking of exactly in this metaphor of this world being a video game, and there are players and then there are NPCs, and then I was thinking, NPCs will probably be looking for, like input from the outside world. They'll definitely be looking for validation and orders, if you will, from the outside world. So when I was like, no offense to people with those diagnoses, but I was just thinking like, this fits the vibe. This fits the characteristic of people wanting input from the outside and validation and all that jazz, that can be really alone and always need to be in the company of people. Literally come home and can't stand alone for 5 minutes, go out with friends and all that. Writing down. I'd be like in the NPC
These
role.
routines over and over without any
Maybe
purpose
just in
or
this
growth, like
characteristic.
a shopkeeper or something like that. In Earth, this trap is very real, and it's right in front of us. Every time that your character gets sucked into social media, spends hours doom scrolling,
Not the social
politics, and
media.
basically you let the character get consumed by whatever media is making them pay attention
These are
to.
distractions.
You're walking right into NPC territory. One of the other ways they do this is by convincing you to keep learning and gathering information by taking game tutorials and never using that information on quests. Lots of game tutorials out there. Most people don't use them. They get addicted to the game tutorials. The developers don't want every player
That's a serious
reaching
trap
the
right there.
higher levels of development. So they flood the entire game with these distractions, and they make sure a lot of characters never get past a
Creating a
certain
party
point.
and doing
It's
some
pretty
quests.
brilliant.
Yes,
They
we
seduce
should
people with
redefine
the
it.
easy stuff And before they know it, they've
Redefine the
become an
language.
NPC, just following trends and distractions that are out there. So all characters
Getting
are prone to
addicted
this,
to
so be
TikTok is
careful if you
definitely a
decide
huge
to
trap
try
from
out
that.
Earth. Here's the way to hack that. The more you force your character to focus on
This literally gave me a flashback. I don't know if you guys have seen the newest Matrix movie, the one that came out on the 21st of December 2021. And spoiler alert here for the people who have not seen it, cover your ears for, I don't know, a minute. There was a scene where Neo was looking in the mirror and he wasn't looking like Neo. You know what I mean? And TikTok having us get used to these perfect faces and giving us AI filters got me thinking of that way of thought that he's presenting, us not accepting ourselves as we are and having to always use these AI filters to a point where you don't even look at yourself anymore the same. And when you're online, you forget what you really look at, and then you go to the mirror and you're like, oh, right, this is me. This is not me. This is me. And I think The Matrix kind of showed us an extreme version of that with the blue pills and all that. It was underwhelming though. I expected more from that Matrix movie. So, spoilers are out. You expected more. I think this is like an acquired love for Matrix because it was nothing like what we expected. But I did find some connections to my personal life in real life, and so that's why I liked it, but I totally see why people didn't feel connected to it. So yeah, have you been creating some side quests with movies tonight?
what really matters, your
expected anything
decade,
from
your
that movie,
year,
so I
your
never
monthly
watched it.
goals, the less likely you are to
Give
fall
it
into
a
this
go.
trap. So keep your eyes on the
It's
long
pretty
term.
interesting.
You level up your character a lot faster.
You should take it
and you get to complete
metaphorically,
missions
especially.
and quests instead of wasting your character in low energy loops. They use low energy because it conserves memory processing.
Don't
for the
become
game. At
louche.
this point, you start seeing how much of the game is designed to
Give that
derail you and
nostalgia.
how many people around you are stuck in the loop. And the difference between a real player and an NPC is that the NPC reacts and the player chooses what they want to do. So most of them
Response.
don't even realize that their character converted into an NPC.
He's not a
because
slave
they've
to
been
his
programmed by the game
emotions
to
or
believe they're
her.
still playing, but they're stuck on autopilot.
Have you watched
Some of
Ready
the
Player
NPCs
One?
we need
Never
to
heard of
harvest
that.
coins,
Is that a movie?
but most of the distractions are there to get you to take on smaller missions and compare your character's stuff to other gear.
We can
so that
watch
you'll
the
spend
trailer
coins
afterwards.
upgrading your skins and all the other
Yes,
stuff.
watch it. Movie based on a book.
Once you
Very
reach the
interesting.
end of the game, you get access to this character grading system that the game uses, and the game judges you only while you're exiting. Only when you're very close to exiting
for
and leaving
gamers.
the game, you get judged on these 5 things. So here are the 5 secret things that the game is secretly rating you on to determine
I
if
didn't
you're going
even
to go
know
up
it
on the
existed.
leaderboard. First thing is decision perspective, and it's love versus fear. This is the ultimate test in the game. Without ever telling you, the developers designed life on Earth to evaluate how often you can make choices rooted in love, empathy, connection, and compassion versus all those that are driven by fear, like self-protection and judgment and isolation. The highest rated characters navigate the game from love a lot more often, even when fear seems like a really easy pass. All right, so secret grading system number 2 is your connection to others. Points are scored for
season 7 or
deep
whatever is coming up
understanding,
in April.
forgiveness, the ability to dissolve
I think it's going to be one of the good ones.
Separation, and the strongest players understand that they're
season
not
was
competing but are in this together. That's the ultimate trick, because when people think of the word game, they think they're in a game. They think that there's a winner and a loser, but that's the ultimate trick, is just getting this in your head and living that in your life. Next is your adaptability. The game is going to throw endless plot twists at you. There's going to be
only
loss,
season 1 and
failure,
2,
unexpected change. Those people who can
when they started
learn
with the
and
AI,
grow
I
from
kind of
adversity
lost it.
score a lot higher.
But
and
I want
players
to
who
come back and
cling
watch
too
it.
tightly to control and resist change are going to lose points like
How many
crazy
seasons
and
are
not
there,
even
by the
know
way,
it. Next, we have
of
authenticity.
Westworld?
There is a hidden bonus for playing
Season
your
3.
character in alignment with who you truly are, and it's not about playing by society's rules or trying to achieve external success.
That's how you
The
become an
developers
NPC.
reward characters who are true to their inner voice, their passions, their purpose,
So
which
Chaz,
most people
what
don't
is
figure
your
out until they're about
for
to
fuck's
exit the
game
completely.
doing?
And the final
fuck's sakes
secret
game
rating
doing
that you're gonna
today?
get when you're near the exit of the game is
Are you playing
contribution.
solo today?
Points are tallied up for how much you give back to the game world, and it could be through helping other characters, sharing knowledge, or leaving behind something that benefits future players. And basically, if you fix things for characters or improve the game map somehow, you get points for that. So remember, Earth is full of distractions
Did they close the
and
story?
auto-assigned tasks that can keep you running in circles, but the best players zoom out. They set their course and take control of how their story ends.
And they definitely take a look at the whole picture.
If you learn the game rules well enough, then you can break them. That's how you beat the game. And that's how you get on the leaderboards, by playing it on your terms. And don't forget, you can always reboot your character when things get tough with a psychologist character or one of the...
Like in the Matrix. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If they give you the blue pill, don't take it. Throw it in the sink and tell them that you've taken it, but don't.
PCs who will accept coins to fix some of your settings. And the cool thing about the game is
Playing
you're never really
solo as
stuck
one
in a
does.
bad
We're
spot
generating
in
energy after
Earth
today's
unless
quest.
you choose to be. Overall, I give it 4.5 stars, and it's really
20K
fun. I'm
steps.
still in the game right now as I'm making this video for other characters. If you focus on the points that we talked about to really, truly win the game. Here is one more photo of the other character I connected with and the new character that we brought into the game who's in the tutorial phase right now. Your points also come from whether or not these new characters build points too. So you'll get points based on that as well. If you're also in the main map, let me know, and maybe our characters will meet up with each other. So
we just did! He collaborated with his character. Why do I have a feeling just now, thinking about Westworld and the story, and you bringing up this song, I have a feeling that it's a moment where the ending, and don't tell me if it is or it isn't, I don't want spoilers, but I have a feeling that they have the Que Sera Sera song, and it's a bleak ending. Something maybe even super bloody and the end of the world, I don't know. The way they combine like a super peaceful song with scary, dramatic, tragic scenes is very powerful in movies in the last couple of years. That sucks is not saving often and having to start over after a reboot, man, or being given the same quest over and over again, like me literally not being able to walk again after 2 years of thinking that I solved the issue. But I'm doing better now. So if you can create new life, what do you call the baby? Depends, I guess. Control C plus Control V to create new character. If only it was that simple. If only there was a way to ensure that your baby would be also a player and not an NPC. I feel like I've always had this like extreme fear that my baby is gonna be not a real player. You can't walk. I can't walk. It's just like a way. I over dramatize it, but I have like a joint problem in one of my legs, and it was extremely painful to even get up and go to the kitchen 2 years ago when I had like the scariest health attack. And now it came back in December, and I'm like on a lot of meds and hopefully fixing it. But I haven't been able to go out in nature and hike and see peace in green from up close. So I'm glad you feel better now. Thank you so much, Chico, and thank you for coming in, Skin and Chico.
You made it to the
and
end.
hanging out
Most people
throughout
don't do
the
that,
whole video.
So I know that you're most likely committed to learning
We're
these skills.
pro
and I'm
players
willing to bet
here.
that you're one of the few
Daya
people who
lives.
realize that these skills determine
We have
true
Daya
success,
Sims,
and
Daya
they
lives,
always have.
Daya
If you want to
Sims.
level up your skill level and take it from a casual interest to a serious study, click the link in the description, and
Hope
I
you can run
promise
soon.
what
Yes.
you'll see will blow your mind. So
Let it
until
be.
next time,
Dai
if
Boże.
you're subscribed, thank you.
I really love his content. He is awesome. Let me see. Have I subscribed? Oh, I'm in the wrong browser. That's why I'm not subscribed.